record. Okay, recording started. Hello again. And after the training, I will send these video materials and, of course, slides to those who will join the meeting by scanning this QR code. Is that okay? You guys scanned that? Because it looks like, yeah, Dinga, thank you. Okay, most of you know how to do it. Wow, 14 participants, great. I think now we finally got the right topic. Yeah, and by the way, before starting this presentation, while you are scanning this, hey, hi Maria, nice to see you. Maybe you can offer some topics for next trainings. Next week, I'm going to tell you about Ruijie Enterprise equipment, what we have in our current portfolio, and present you some actual models. But for next week, for which date it's going to be, moment, for 7th of December, I still have no ideas what to tell you about. What should I tell you? So if you have any ideas, please type into chat what topic is interesting for you. But today let's start. Today I'm going to tell you about only Ruijie Enterprise, so not nothing in common with Ruijie. Now we are going to talk about Ruijie Enterprise. So those access points which starts from AP, like AP 180, 810, 820, 840, and maybe some other models. 680 CD as well. Later we will have, I think, additional model 680i with built-in omnidirectional antenna. So for these models, for models of this type, enterprise grade. So first of all, let's start with topology. These are the samples of the networks where you can use this cloud or AC-based controllers or hardware-based controllers. So, for example, hardware-based controllers is very good in wide campuses, buildings, or building blocks, factories, or something like that. When you need now. Just a second, I will switch off microphones for everyone, and later I will let you switch on it again and ask the questions. Now, if you have any questions, please type them in chat, and later at the end of the meeting, I will make it as a Q&A session. So this hardware-based controller is better for these big campuses, big building blocks, etc. It is good when you have some advanced services inside your campus, when you need to integrate your wireless LAN into some infrastructure, like, I don't know, maybe location-based services, maybe some complicated authentication and identity services. So in this case, hardware controller offers you a very good solution. And cloud-based controller is better for relatively small networks. But in fact, I've heard about hotels of hundreds of access points. In my case, under my supervision, I have a project with something around 160 access points working in a single university campus in a dormitory. So actually, there are no limits. Just it's up to you what to choose and where to use this. But we advise to use this cloud-based network topology in maybe branch offices, or when your client have a distributed branches, or you have just a small maybe office or even a campus. With the relatively simple requirements for authentication system. So here it is also possible. So this how it works. Let's go into details of this. So hardware-based topology is very good for, as mentioned before, for campus networks. It is sorry, it's a sort of traditional network architecture when everything is on your premises. That's very good for a large-scale network, and even if you have some branches or equal branches, maybe you can use this topology, this hardware-based topology for disaster recovery system, etc. The access points are working in a fit mode, and they are managed locally by hardware controller. And maybe you know, maybe not, but our access points have three types of operating. First of all, of course, fit mode, just like this for hardware controller. Next is fat mode, when it's a standalone device, and the third one is called MACC. MACC, I will show you later. This is for cloud-based topology. So for this kind of networks, we use fit mode. So all the interactions between access points are happening through hardware controller. This type of network supports both tunnels and local forwarding. So access point can send traffic from SSID directly to VLAN, or it can forward it through secure CAPWAP tunnel from access point to a hardware controller, and let controller deal with the traffic, where to forward it, which VLAN to forward it. This topology supports access points grouping when you need, for example, some group of the devices can be installed in, I don't know, dormitory, another one in a conference room, whatever. So for this kind of scenarios, so you can manage them, manage these groups separately, do some configuration changes to this group, and don't touch another group. Hardware controller is license based, so you need to buy licenses. By default, we have some amount of licenses going at the order with the controller. So depending on the model, this number is different. It's relatively simple to integrate this hardware controller with authentication server or identity server, like radios, like LDAP, something like that. And it supports a very fast authentication processing because it is installed locally, very close to your authentication AAA server. And it also supports redirection to web portal, which also should be located locally, but can be globally, but that does not so matter. Comparing to cloud, yes, for cloud-based, yeah, there is a question. Correct. Yes, correct. 32 licenses are as a base for smallest controller. 6008 has 32 licenses, but 6816 controller has 128 licenses. So that's why I said that the number is different. But from the box, you get some amount of licenses. Depending on the model, the number is different. And yes, this is the license per controller, not per user. We are not limiting users anyhow. Just access points. And one more interesting thing about this is that access points, standard ceiling mounting access points and outdoor access points are take just one license. And if you install a wall mount access point like AP180 wall mount for hotel usage, for example, you take just half of the license. This is interesting. So, for example, if you have a hardware controller 6008, the basic one, and if you want to install, let's say, 32 32 access points to rooms of the hotel, this AP 180, they will take just 16 licenses. And you still have 16 licenses for free to connect outdoor or ceiling mount access points. So this is interesting. No limits for time. It's just you buy it and they are forever with you. Yeah, I think I answered all the questions. So let's go next. About this cloud controller. So you may know that actually Ruijie Cloud was developed as a wireless access controller. That was the idea of this service. So in the past, this software were working like a controller, and it was possible to install it on premises. But now we decided to leave this branch of development and kept only hardware controller and cloud. So cloud is suitable when you want to save some costs. It is good for small campuses or distributed networks. You may say you may use them for branches or for several clients, or you can create projects and sub-projects. So this is quite flexible. That's strange. Yeah, I need to change this. Actually, access points here are working in MACC mode. And MACC mode is something in between of FET and FET. Actually, it's closer to FET mode. So the access points itself manages itself somehow, and it deals with other access points in terms of roaming and etc. By itself, but it's supervised by the cloud. So we make configuration and monitoring on cloud, and some actions like radio resource management or scheduling or cloud-based authentication. But access points are working relatively independently. So that's why if you will lose the connection between the site and the cloud, so for example, internet is switched off, I don't know what happened. You will be still able to operate, to connect to this wireless network. So no worries here. It is possible. Of course, internet services is required. This kind of network topology may work only as a local forwarding. Of course, no CAPWAP tunnels to cloud are possible, so just local forwarding. It is subscription based, but there are no licenses, no fees for this. So you just connect access points to a cloud, scan QR code, or add this serial number and MAC manually, and that's it, nothing else. It's quite easy to integrate this with some cloud features, like maybe you have some third-party authentication portal, or you can use our own authentication system, because we have built-in system, built-in AAA system, and we also have a built-in web portal, which is very easy to customize, and I believe you already tried that. It's very easy to expand, and there is no need to make any backups, because cloud is backupping itself automatically, so no need to think about this. Here is the small comparison with models. I actually don't like this kind of tables, but you can imagine which kind of competitor devices, appliances we are targeting with which controller. So, for example, this 6008 is aiming against Aruba and 7205, or Catalyst, Cisco Catalyst 9800LF. So like that. As a mid-range, we have 6512. I actually haven't seen it yet. I think we will have it in our enterprise portfolio or price list later this year or maybe next year. But it's also quite powerful device, so I hope it will be very popular soon. About reliability of the controller, we support several methods like 1+1 backup or n+1 backup. My favorite one, of course, is n+1 because with this type of backup we can save a lot of money on it and still have a hot standby controller as a spare. So actually, this is called VAC, Virtual Access Controller. We combine several controllers together in a cluster, and this cluster may work like this. So, for example, you have the number of access points which can be supported by 2 access controller, and you can install a third one and combine them as a cluster. And you will have this n+1 redundancy. So if one of the controller switches off or have some failure, all the system automatically redistributes the load of access points to the not between the controllers but inside this cluster. So this is working quite fast and reliable, and you can even make disaster recovery based on this, like installing several controllers in several different branches or several campuses, and you can make it hierarchical. Like one will be the main, another will be spare, so you can choose how to switch between these controllers. And one more interesting thing here is about licenses. Actually, I thought you will ask about licenses here. How to make? Yes, I think it's not, Carlos. I think it's not working in constantly. It switches. It is pre-set up, but it starts when the connection to to authentication server or portal is lost. So it's not constantly switched on. Yeah, it's not safe. So no, you cannot connect to it constantly. It's yes, it's switched off by default. But that's you are talking about when there is some failure between the controller and the authentication system. So this case, yes. But we also can do like this if you have some I don't know. One campus in Madrid, another campus in I don't know, Roma, and you have the connection between these controllers and or let's say Barcelona, and if one of the controllers goes down, your clients will be switched to another controller. So that's what I mean by saying disaster recovery, because you are protecting on a quite high distance between devices. So this is also possible. And about licenses, important thing is that all the licenses combines in a pool. So when you add several controllers into one cluster, you get all their default licenses together. And then if this number is not enough, you add licenses to not to a to one of the controllers, but to a pool, to a virtual controller. And if you lose one of the physical controllers, the electricity is off or the failure of equipment, you will remain with the same number of licenses as a pool. And you have 1 month to replace faulty controller. So this is important. So we are not cheating here. You can use or enjoy all your licenses even in a disaster mode. So about WLAN experience, how we assure this? We have some intelligent features like intelligent analysis of network stability, like interference, coverage, access. We can measure level of the signal, how our clients see our access points. We can track some issues in the network, like collect packets on the access points, or we can track roaming signals, how it is going on. So we can control this, and we can dive deep into bits and bytes to check what is happening if something goes wrong. We have group-based optimization, like we can define, as I mentioned before, groups of access points, and we can make optimization for this group, let's say at 2 a.m., this group at 3 a.m., and that group we are not touching, everything is fine there. So something like this. And optimization process considers environmental interfaces, like, I don't know, microwaves, ovens, or something like that. So this is also, forget this. Yes. Pondus, you're right. WIS, wireless intelligent system. This is another feature which is very close in functionality to Aruba's services, but it is totally free of charge. We already reported that because the server itself is located quite far from Europe. So we already reported, and Jorge also helped me on this, and Jason did that. We already reported that this service is very hard to use in Europe. So we hope to get some servers closer to European countries to make it easier to work. WIS consists of 3 parts. One is called Site Survey Planner. It is a free tool to plan your wireless network. Another one is called Moho. Maybe you know this application for mobile phone. You can use it like a network, a universal network tester. I actually use it almost every week, several times. And third part is called, I think VISA is called. So the idea of the third part is most, right. The idea of third part is that you can connect your hardware controller to this WIS system and rely on WIS systems intelligence to improve the quality of your network. So all the interferences, all the obstacles will be considered by artificial intelligence in WIS, in this. So this is the idea of this Ruijie Networks.com. Okay, we can make inter-access point roaming, or in between access points, or even between radios, or between controllers. So seamless roaming is available for all the users inside the network. We support these 3 standards, K, V, and R, of course, now on our devices. Of course we need hardware controller for this. It is just simply impossible for cloud. But in fact, these 3 protocols, they are just slightly help to make a seamless roaming, but they are not responsible for roaming itself. And we have some enhanced algorithms built in the controller, because previously when we were doing this, when we were making good roaming for our clients, we got some proprietary technologies how to improve this. And actually we have quite advanced QoS, like application-based bandwidth control, or access point based bandwidth control. user-based and smart speed control, fair load balancing, not only kicking to 5 gigahertz, but balancing between this. So this subsystem is really welcomed by our partners and clients, and I have several tests here when people are saying good words about these QoS features. Integration. This is about how to integrate the hardware controller with your own network, existing network. So you can integrate it with authentication service. Of course, we support radios protocol. We support built-in web portal. We have a PPSK system. PPSK, maybe you know it, maybe not, but this is per user pre-shared key. Like all the users can connect to the same SSID, but the password will be unique. So you don't need to enter a name, but you need to enter separate password. Separate wireless key. So this key is unique for every user or for every device. So whenever the device first time connects to this SSID with PPSK enabled, you simply give this unique password, and then the system ties this password to this MAC address of the device. So it was developed to simplify to simplify authentication, so you don't need to use radio server, and you don't need to explain users how to use this login and password. You just have different passwords for all the users of the network. But now it's not very interesting. So we found out that this feature is very helpful in IoT installations, like I don't know, smart devices, which does not support authentication based on 1.x or web portal, whatever. But you still need to uniquely identify this device. So you can use this PPSK method. And our hardware controller have built-in system, built-in the database of these keys, PPSK. Of course, we support third-party integration like ISE, ClearPass, etc. And they are actually described already in our documentation how to connect our system to this third-party AAA servers. This is actually what Carlos was talking about, one of the disaster recovery methods. When you have you lost the connection between your network and AAA server, we have this authentication escape feature, which lets users to connect the wireless network even without authentication system, by maybe simple password or maybe using open SSID, but which is usually switched off, but can be switched on in case of disaster. Identity server integration, also, of course, Active Directory, LDAP, etc. We have the possibility to connect our devices, our controllers to some management system, like using SNMP. We have standard MIB tables, so it is possible to integrate with, I don't know, even Zabbix or something like that. We have RESTful IP to integrate with such systems. And we have it is possible to integrate our devices with third-party gateways and firewalls like FortiGate or something, something like this, to make the network even more secure. And yes, we have location service integration, like location detection by wireless. We have AirScale protocol supported. Security features also quite advanced. We have client isolation, SSID based and access point based, but that's strange for such installations. Of course, SSID based is more interesting. We have some advanced wireless IDS IPS prevention system, and I need to change this. This is the typo, not WISP, but wireless IPS, intrusion prevention system. So we can scan the network for safety threats like rogue access points and interferences. We can scan for different kind of attacks like spoofing, flooding, etc. And we can take countermeasures with like containment and something like that. So this is what is possible with a hardware controller. And you may ask, what's up with the cloud? Is it that bad? No, actually, cloud has also its own features, its own good points like reliability. You don't need to think about backup. Our committed cloud availability is 99.99% of time per year, so quite reliable. And this is our commitment. We have some features to improve WLAN experience, like radio resource management, which is actually if you compare our cloud to some competitors like Ubiquity, for example, you will have no radio resource management there, and we have optimization schedule, so we can not only just press a button to improve the quality, but we can schedule it. We have 5 GHz prioritization. Layer 2 roaming is switched on by default, and you cannot switch off it because who may need it. And we have a layer 3 roaming. In fact, it's just tunneling of the client to some access points from which it started to roam. Also available, but you need to switch on it if you need it. Because of course it consumes this feature consumes the resources of access points. You can limit your users with amount of traffic or speed based on its credentials, like in groups of users. You can have a basic user statistics. You may integrate this Ruijie Cloud with some third-party server like .1x server or captive portal, and of course we can use built-in captive portal. In our Ruijie Cloud we also have PPSK, for example. For tests, I switched on this PPSK system here in my office, and all the people who are constantly coming, who are frequently coming to my office, they have their own private key to connect to this to my office network. We have a built-in cloud-based captive portal, which is, of course, just like in Ruijie, it's very easy to customize. We have several ways of authentication, like one-click, like account, voucher, self-registration, and even SMS authentication. We have users isolation, IP-based and IP plus SSID-based. And once again, I want to highlight that this Ruijie Cloud is good not only for end customer, but also for medium or small or medium business system integrators, small, medium managed service providers, when people are trying to make money on services. So our cloud is totally free, no limits on number of projects, number of networks, devices, users, whatever, no any limit. You can connect any number of devices, networks to your cloud account, and we will have no fees, no payments required from you here. And Ruijie Cloud supports both Ruijie and Ruijie, and for most of the countries we use Ruijie Enterprise as protection in projects, and Ruijie as a run rate. So actually this is it. That's all. I see the question from Pontus in the chat, so give me a second, I will read it and answer it. Meanwhile, I will switch on your microphone so you can now you can ask the question, ask your questions here, and please scan this QR code in your Ruijie Cloud application to register for this event. And the question to ask if you want to get client SSID isolation. Yes, yes, it is possible. As I mentioned earlier, it is possible. You can isolate clients in some guest networks. It is possible. Any other questions, guys? WP3. WP3, it is definitely available in hardware controller, but I think it's not released yet for Ruijie Cloud, so maybe later. Software controller, we don't have it, and I don't think we will have, because we have cloud and we have hardware, so no special reasons for software controller. Marina, EG3250, what is the question about it? Well, that's it's not a tough question. It's I'll tell you. So actually, it has a controller, built-in controller, but this controller has a very basic features. I think yes, yes. We call controller devices which are which starts from WS wireless switch like that. EG series, EG 2100, 3250, 3230. Actually, they have built-in controller, but it is very basic, and it's like, you know, hidden feature. Usually it's used for a simple start of the network. You remember our SOM in Ruijie. So this built-in controller in gateway were intended to make a sort of, you know, SOM for enterprise. When you just switch on this router, you have several access points in your network. They see this local controller, and they create first SSID, and it's very simple to manage it. But we do not recommend to use this controller, this built-in controller in real life. We don't show it as a separate feature, so better not to use it. But in some cases you can. But that's, you know, quite a deep diving into Ruijie, and well, at your own risk. Yes, this is obvious about a software controller, that they may want to install the software controller and offer services from it. But we have cloud, and we have so-called elite mode. Elite mode is working like this. We sign an agreement with this type of MSP, managed service provider, and we make a branding of a part of Ruijie Cloud, and we offer, you know, a tenant for this MSP. This may be interesting for big MSPs when there are reasons to support something like this. We take care about the system working, but we are not promoting this mode actively. But we still have it. And usually, I haven't heard about any installation of it, any usage, but usually this type of service we are talking about when we are talking about Ruijie Enterprise. So it's not used, it cannot be used for EE, as far as I know. Yes, NBR series. NBR series. Yeah, guys, as soon as I get the information about this series, I will make a presentation for you, of course. Right now, I have very small info. I've heard that it's going to replace EG 3000 series. I know it's based on RGOS, so it's closer to Ruijie Enterprise rather than to Ruijie. But it also supports SON, so all the features from Ruijie will be possible there. So it's something in between of Ruijie and Ruijie. And from now, it looks like quite an interesting product, and with built-in controller. But I still have no devices on my hands. The presentation about it was held maybe a couple of weeks ago, and actually not many information about it. So still waiting. But this this NBR router is already in our price list, so maybe you can order it. Need to ask, will you come with Wi-Fi 6 or Wi-Fi 7 or 6E or how? Yes, we will. And let's keep it for next. When? I've noticed this new 6E access points in both portfolios in Ruijie Enterprise and the Ruijie. So 6 gigahertz we are closely working with it. We're very close to release. I think end of this year or maybe beginning of next year. And I saw a photo of prototype of Wi-Fi 7 access point. I think our Carlos showed that yesterday on his LinkedIn account.
Yeah, I see different information about 6E and 7. So I just wonder if you're coming with 6E or you're just going for 7 directly.
We come with both.
Okay.
Because well, 7 is it's a really next generation standard. I don't think we will get a lot of devices ready for 7 within closest future. But for 6E is just 6, but in additional bands, in additional wireless range.
Yeah.
So, well, I don't know. How about Europe? Is it ready to this frequency band? Is it allowed to use this?
In Sweden, it's not so good because we only have half of the band, so we can only use the lower level. So doesn't really matter for the moment.
Yeah, depends on the country, I think. Yeah. Some allowed, some not. So, but anyway, we are going to this, and you remember that in China we become leader in Wi-Fi 6 because we were ready to that. And I believe that in Wi-Fi 6E and Wi-Fi 7 we also will be leaders.
Yeah, most of the bigger company already coming.
Yeah. So we are also very close and in both product lines.
Good. Thank you for your presentation.
Okay, thank you guys. Thank you for participation. I hope you scan the QR code, so we'll send you the links to video recording and to slides. You also can use these slides for your own presentations to talk when you're talking to your customers. So please feel free to use it.
Yeah.
Thank you for your attendance.
Dimitri, can I just ask one question?
Sure.
We try to use this QR code for our presentations, book it, but there is something not working. Can you look at that? Because it says we are not allowed or something, or not have the privilege to do that.
Yeah, maybe let's finish this meeting and then immediately start another one and let's check it.
Can we do that on Thursday instead? Because
Thursday, no, because I'm leaving for a business trip. So these 2 weeks will be very tight in my schedule.
I have very tight now.
Okay, okay. Then maybe in starting from 28th of November,
Yeah,
I'll be
let's
available.
take it there. I may email you and we book a time and try and see if we can solve this.
Okay, agreed.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, guys. See you. Bye bye.
See you. Bye bye.